Yeah.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today is a very, very special day because we got a new bike for the channel. So as you can tell by the thumbnail, you already know basically what we bought, but I do want to go ahead and say I apologize to any of you watching this video. I want to say this now so you don't have to watch this whole video and put a dislike. We did not buy the Ducati V4. The bike's not even out yet. We can't get our hands on one. The closest is February 26th on a base model, and an S model is already pushed back till the end of March, April, and a Speciale, I believe the first ones are going on in June. So I'm not gonna just not create content for you guys. You know, we gotta have a sick-ass bike for the channel. So without further ado, this is our new bike. Check this out. So this is the 2017 RS V4 RF. Now a lot of you guys, I'm sure, have already watched videos, you know, on this bike. But the difference is we're not just demoing it, we're not just reviewing it. Like I say all the time, I don't like doing bike reviews. Everybody does that. So we're actually going to take this thing to the track and beat the living piss out of it. The bike is owned, so we aren't taking this from somebody else. We're not, you know, sponsored by Aprilia. This isn't a demo bike. Like I said, I own this bike. So I bought this bike. This was my Christmas present to me. And all I can say is, coming from the Gixxer 1000 and the Panigale 1199 and all the cool stuff I've been blessed enough to ride, I have to say this is by far my favorite bike. It looks so uncomfortable, and I have to say, because, you know, I test ride my buddy's R1 like all the time, and it's a 2016 R1, and it is uncomfortable. Not just when you sit on it, but also when you stand the bike up and then get going. It's a lot on your wrists, just like on the Panigale. But the difference is, with this bike, it seems uncomfortable when you sit on it, but when you're actually riding it, basically anything besides a stoplight where you're kind of tippy-toeing, and I'm 5'10", 250, so, you know, I do have to tippy-toe a little bit, but everything on this bike, it seems like a race bike until you sit on it and ride it, and you're like, wow, man, this is actually pretty comfortable. Not to mention, you know, I wanted this really because of the TFT display, which I'll show you in a second. But the main reason, you know, that I went with this bike is because I wanted a track bike that I could ride on the street on the weekends, you know, with my buddies. So that's why I chose this bike. I mean, the biggest thing is, yeah, it's a lot of money, but my opinion, it's definitely worth the money. Some people are going to say, you know, buy the RR. Yada yada yada, who cares? You like what you like, buy what you like. So I'm a firm believer in that. If you want a Ninja 250, buy a Ninja 250. Who cares? So without further ado, let's check out this dash. I don't know if you can see it with the light, but it is just amazing. It's amazing. So it has a lot of the features like the R1, but, you know, with all the braking and the throttle, all that fun stuff. But this thing has a USB charger on it. Like, that's ridiculous. I did get a really, really good deal on it. So, without further ado, let's ride it.
All right. Man, this thing's sweet. Yeah, so right now, I'm on my way to meet up with a few buddies, and we're going to go for a ride and put some mileage on the bike. So a little bit about the deal. It was a crazy Christmas. I hope everybody, you know, that watches the channel, you know, definitely had a good Christmas. And the biggest thing about this bike was, yes, there's dealerships that still have 2017s left in Florida, and they have them, you know, elsewhere that's within driving distance, but they're still MSRP plus. Some people put a premium, so they're 23 to 25 grand before including your tax tag and title. So you're looking at like 27, 28 grand. So of course, I drive a lot for work. I have to travel all over the place, so I shop nationwide, and even if it's a place I don't drive to, I can always ship it if I'm getting a really good deal. So on this bike, it's a 2017 that the finance manager had at a dealership in Kansas. So I know, I don't know how I found this deal either, but basically, you know, he had a 2017 and was looking to sell it, and, you know, basically he had an S1000RR that he was going to end up keeping. So I got a really, really good deal on the bike. I'm not going to talk about numbers, but it was such a good deal that I drove to Kansas to get it. and the bike only has 500, and well, now after riding it yesterday, it's got 579 on the clock. So I'm super close to doing the first service. But I know Jason, the guy that I bought the bike from, I know he babied it. He didn't ride it how it was supposed to be ridden. You know, he just wanted something that was a little bit more tame and comfortable on the street. So I plan on putting it through its paces and wringing its neck. And it's an awesome bike, I have to say. I was going to buy the R1M, and you know, first off, I want to say, if you're watching the channel, you see that I stay up with all the Ducati stuff. I want the new V4, the Panigale, but the difference is, you know, it's a brand new bike, so it doesn't come out until the earliest is February. So I can't even get my hands on one until then. And that's a base model. S's are another month back from that, and the Special is like 2 months back from the S. So I'm not gonna just not ride for 6 months. You know, when the bike comes out, I can always plan to purchase one then. They're not all gonna sell out. The Special will, but you know, I want a bike that I can take to the track. This year I plan on getting back into racing full time. So I wanted something that I can step up with and fit the bike as much as make the bike fit me. And the biggest thing with the RSV4 is, at the end of the day, this bike was built not just for the track like the R1, but it was built for racing, unlike, in my opinion, the Panigale that I love so much. You know, that's the reason the Panigale 1299R, the race bike, has an 1199cc, because you can only use a certain amount of cc's with the amount of cylinders you have in your engine. So basically, with a twin, you can have up to 1200 cc's. And with a 4-cylinder, you can have up to 1000 cc's. And what I'm rambling on about is the new Panigale V4 S model and the Special are 1103cc V4s. So if I move up as much as what I plan on doing and racing this year, and you know, the year is coming, I can't use the V4 Special past a certain point. I mean, basically, if I'm doing track days, it's all right and all well and good, but hold on, you guys gotta see this. One of the best features on this bike is I'm doing 43 miles an hour, sitting here in traffic, and boom, you set your cruise control. Look, this is ridiculous. You can, I mean, how is that not on every bike? What's funny is that all my buddies that seen the bike already, you know, the non-ape fans, they're like, yeah, because you need a USB charger and cruise control on a 201 horsepower MotoGP bike. Like, it's just I thought it was overkill and ridiculous until I actually got it home and rode with it a little bit yesterday, and I was like, this is a game changer. It's crazy. So yeah, back on topic. That's one of the reasons that, now I'm not saying I'm not going to get the V4 when it comes out this year. I mean, I really want to. I'm a big Ducati fanboy, but the issue is, if I bought the V4 and I'm racing, it can't be my only bike. Like, basically, if I bought a V4, you know, the Panigale, it'd be the street bike. Because, you know, of course there's street bikes. I'm saying, like, I would use it for the street. I wouldn't use it for the track. So I needed a track weapon anyways. And the more and more I ride this bike, I'm so impressed with my purchase. Like, this thing is amazing. It's got an auto blipper up and down. Like I say, you know, any of you guys that follow my channel and, you know, see what I do here, I'm not a review guy. It's never been my thing. I love watching reviews. You know, all you guys out there, you know, that I look up to, I love watching your reviews. But I'm the type of guy that just likes to ride my bike and do cool shit. So you will see a lot of stuff coming to this, and you know, as you've seen in my Gixxer build and other videos that I've done, I'm a built not bought kind of guy. So I know you can get an exhaust fairly cheap and affordable for this bike. You know, and there's a lot of good exhausts out there, everything from the Akrapovic to the Aero and all that. But I'm always a fab kind of guy, so I have a bunch of parts at the house. I'm gonna fab up, decide on my end can, either that or build one from scratch. So if you guys want to see those cool build videos and mods to the bike and us beating the piss out of it this year, please subscribe, and let's go meet up with these guys, and then go hit some twisties, put some miles on this thing so I can get the first service done.